back with a quick update on the not so fun feeds of Big Brother 26, where the last 24 hours in the house kind of revolves around high school like drama, with the love triangle in the house, which isn't really a love triangle, which revolves around Leah, of course, as I talked about in last night's video, where suddenly she allegedly has a crush on Tucker. She's been trying to play the guys with this flirting game, or allegedly game, which we'll get into, this whole season thus far, where she has her hooks into Cam, has Quinn doing some work for her, but I guess now either the heat being on her and Cam as a possible showmance, she's really trying to throw Cam under the bus, or at least that's what it seems like. But at the same time, now going around telling everyone who doesn't even want to hear it that she has a crush on Tucker isn't really making sense for me. I did get a lot of laughs the times when I watched feeds today and saw her attempt to get close to Tucker, and it just did not work. She's not Tucker's type whatsoever, and Tucker is just paranoid about her, and I think if she were to keep doing this, she would eventually get on his nerves. But Leah definitely does have a crush on Tucker, because it's one of the only times this entire season so far where I've seen her quiet. Leah's such a chatterbox and so annoying. But when she was trying to talk to Tucker today and get to know him, and they try to get to know each other better, she was quiet for once and actually listening, which is something Leah never does. Leah does not listen. So she does really have a crush on Tucker, but he dashed her hopes today, which was great in my book, because I'm pretty sick of Leah at this point. The last few days of Leah has been too much, because I don't feel like this is a game. I don't feel like this is game moves anyway, because Leah seems way more concerned about getting attention from guys. Like, if I genuinely saw her doing this to, have guys work for her, and sure, she's talking game with Quinn, and Quinn does seem to, or has in the past week, made some moves, or want to make some moves that would help Leah out. The whole Cam thing is weird. I don't see how this helps her, or Cam, obviously. Maybe it's a way to put a target onto Cam, but it doesn't make any logical sense for Leah at this point in the game. Like, I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt and think that she was just throwing Cam under the bus the past 48 hours now, and saying he gives her the ick and whatnot, is because the heat was getting on them being a thing, and so maybe she's just trying to throw Cam under the bus so she can stay okay. But I don't know if I believe that. I genuinely think, like I said in the last video, that Leah's just there for attention. She's not playing the game right now in my book, although not a lot of people are, I suppose. I got some comments in the past video, we'll get back to Leah and Tucker in a second, about Kenny. Listen, folks, there was a few people trying to defend Kenny, trying to pretend that this is just his game, that he's just going around saying he wants to quit as a game move. No. Already tonight, he's once again talking about he'll be okay with going back up on the block. In what world is being on the block every week game moves? Sure, there's been block stars in the past, but that's because it kind of just fell on them that they became block stars because their games were shit in their own ways. Kenny's game is non-existent. He has wanted to quit the game from the beginning. This is not a strategy. If this was a strategy, and I said this in the comments, it would be on the episodes. They would be editing it in with him talking confessionals about how he's trying to play this under the radar game by acting like he's this weak player that wants to quit all the time. But that's not the case. Instead, it's the opposite. Production's trying to hide the fact that he keeps telling people he wants to quit because it's embarrassing. Kenny's embarrassing. And the little game he does try to play doesn't work either, because he's so out of the game already, because he hasn't been playing this whole time. He tries to give people information over the past 24 hours. I do feel like there's some people that liked the idea to want to work with Kenny, but he ran this idea about a girls' alliance in the house to Chemo, and Chemo's already ratted him out to T-Core. So Kenny is not playing the game, and I contend that he's still a waste of a spot. Now, anyway, back to a waste of airtime in Leah, because I really wish somebody would tell Tucker and Cam what's going on with this whole Leah thing, with her kind of running Cam's name through the mud when she was equally as flirty with Cam. And now if Tucker knew that he was in a love triangle that he doesn't even know about because he has no interest in Leah, it would annoy Tucker so much because Tucker's perpetually annoyed. But we're not getting that yet. I hope some things come from that. But yeah, Leah, she's not using this flirting well to play the game. I just think she wants the attention. She also thinks she has more people in her pocket than she thinks, because I think she also thinks that Cedric is just so into her too, and I contend that's never been the case. Cedric is a flirt in his own right. I think he's the youngest guy in the house, but he's not there to play those type of games. Cedric is not into Leah. I don't think he ever was. He would just flirt with Leah for fun, like Leah was flirting with him for fun. So Leah also has an ego with this whole attention whoring that she does as well. Then there's the Chelsea side of this, where I got some questions in the comments and comments about that Chelsea's doing this out of jealousy that Leah, or that Cam likes Leah. And I've been on the fence about that. I contend at this point that I don't think that's the case. I do not think Chelsea is jealous of Leah and Cam. I'm not going to say that's not a possibility at all. There is a possibility of that. To me, there is a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot of people, there's a group in the fan base that are trying to blame Chelsea for Cam's actions. And at the end of the day, Cam's actions are his own. Some people will try to defend Cam at all costs and try to pretend he's not doing anything wrong right now for whatever reason. It's not the case. Cam has played poorly over this past week because he is blinded by this flirting from Leah. And yeah, he's told people today that he doesn't want this to continue to be a thing, this whole him and Leah thing. But it's a little too late. He's let this spiral over the past week because he was flirting with Leah so much. After just last week, seeing what happened between MJ and Matt, he decided to do this with his own actions. So no, I do not think that Chelsea's, concern with Cam and Leah is jealousy. To me, Chelsea, this entire game so far, has shown that she's a gamer. And I think there was a point last night when they were all watching, the group of girls were watching the cams and laughing at the Cam situation, laughing at Cam when Leah was out there flirting with him and he was trying to flirt with her. And Chelsea was watching very intensely. And so I thought, maybe there is some jealousy there, but I'm still leaning towards there's not. And it is because in that same conversation when the girls were watching the video, I felt like she threw Cedric's name out there as well, that he's into Leah too, even though she knows for a fact that's not true. That was a game move. That was Chelsea trying to continue to paint a target on Leah. And that Leah's out here, rallying these guys and trying to make the other girls see this as a thing. I think this is totally game from Chelsea. She was concerned about one of her main allies in Cam getting too close to Leah, who was not in Chelsea's favor, not even really in Cedric's favor. And frankly, now Chelsea finds out not even in Cam's favor because she's throwing Cam completely under the bus. Now, Chelsea hasn't told Cam this yet, and I don't know if she will. She probably should at some point soon. But I don't know. I think Chelsea is more so playing the game than is jealous. I'm sorry. I think people wanted to try and defend Cam by making it seem like, oh, Chelsea put this all out here, and that's the reason why there's so much heat on Cam and Leah. No, Cam has been lost in the sauce with Leah. And I'm sorry, that's just facts. Yeah. I guess let's quickly move on to Angela. Turns out Angela has not forgotten that Quinn has the power. Why she suspected Lisa this whole time still makes no sense. But she does remember that Quinn has the power. And she tried to tell a group tonight that she knows what the power is. And that it's going to affect the HOH and basically take over the HOH. But she didn't tell who has it. And I don't think most people believe that she actually knows the power or that she knows anything about the power, because Angela has so many conspiracy theories this season because of her paranoia that nobody knows how to take her at this point. She has... Her word means shit. It's ironic because, she said that Matt's words were shit and he needs to stick it back up his ass. When in reality, at this point in the game, Angela's words literally mean shit to people because she's done so much. I don't know if she will become the target again because apparently she had another argument with Quinn, but she is yet to throw Quinn under the bus. She thought about telling Kenny about Quinn's power, but she won't come out and tell anybody that Quinn has the power. It doesn't make sense either. Angela just doesn't make sense. That's all there is to it. She starts all these fights, cries about it. She has all these conspiracy theories, so even when she's right, nobody can believe her. She knows Quinn has his power, but won't come out and say it, despite Quinn always kind of throwing her under the bus lately. But she won't completely throw him under the bus. I don't know. I don't get Angela at all. I contend with what I said last night that I'm kind of sick of her at this point. We'll see what she does with that information. If she actually goes home this week, will she say it before she leaves that Quinn has the power? I don't know. But Quinn's royally messed up by telling Angela that he has the power. Kimo was in that conversation when Angela was alluding to the power and what it was. And Kimo also knows about Quinn's power, of course, because Quinn doesn't know how to shut his mouth. So will Kimo warn Quinn? I would love to see Angela blackmail Quinn with this information. Maybe that will make me like Angela again and want to watch her, if the feeds allow us to watch her and not cut all the time. I think that's all I had to talk about tonight. I think at this point, Lisa is still the target. I didn't talk about Tucker actually being the renom. I talked about it last night, though, that him volunteering was dumb. He is now the renom. And he's had some paranoia. He tried to change it at the last second and convince Chelsea to put up MJ and try and flush out her power. But I was so late in the day that it was almost time for the renom that just wasn't going to happen. So now he is the renom. And if Lisa does win the AI competition and it's down to Tucker and Angela, is Tucker just seen as this big target they could get out all of a sudden? At this point, I think he has the votes to stay. But you never know. That's why it's dangerous to always volunteer to be on the block. And that's why Kenny always volunteering to be on the block is not a game move, because that's just pure stupidity. Because Kenny doesn't want to be there. Kenny wants to quit because he's a waste of a spot.
If Survivor was on steroids mixed with animation of crazy folks, then I think this is what that would be.
Whatever gonna happen, I'm gonna auto smoke.
My name is Susan, and I'm 61 years old. Do you suggest getting alliances right away?
So yeah, my strategy coming into the game, just form as many social connections as I can.
My name is Emily. I'm a grad student, currently graduating from college with my master's in psychology. I think it's going to be awesome that we can use those tools reading people.
I felt like she was feeling me out the same way I was feeling her out.
I definitely say Darstar is the biggest threat at this point.
So he's a little on the fence for me right now.
Last round, somebody had a big decision to make, which sent a twist into the game.
That was the shocking one.
Stupid name, in my opinion.
Man, he is kind of worrying
just the way he speaks and projects himself.
And right now, if our team is 7, we have the majority right here. Inside, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm doing this.
I'm very loyal, so
Like, I get you, like,
I mean, like, you and I are like the lions.
And you can call me the villain.
That girl knows I don't like her. If I don't like somebody, I'm not gonna pretend that I like you.
I do not like you.